Thanks for staying with us here on ABC 25 Local Lifestyles. We have Larry Caplan with us here now. He has joined us at the Westside Nightclub Fall Festival. You seem to be having a good time down
We're
here.
having a great time. I got my wife here.
That's
We're
right.
just going to eat our way up and down the road here.
And that is what you do here. But first, you have stopped by to talk to us, and we appreciate that because we're talking something that's been kind of on, everybody's been talking about recently. We had the drought, but then we had a couple times of some rain, and that helped a lot. But it may not have helped our plants, our landscape plants especially, as much as we would think.
That is correct. I checked the Indiana drought map last night, and we here in the tri-state, we are no longer in drought, but we are still considered abnormally dry. Now, we did get a couple of good rains. We had one over this past weekend. We had one a couple weeks ago.
Then we had another dry spell in between that. And then we got, like you said, a little more. But
so, I mean, we got a lot of total rain in the rain gauges, but here's the problem. The soil in our yards is bone dry. It's as hard as the concrete out here on Franklin Street. And the 90% of that rain washed off the yard and into the sewers.
Right, so it didn't get into the ground. It didn't really help our plants and even our lawns, you're telling me.
Yes, our lawns are struggling terribly. Trees and shrubs, especially anything you've planted in the last year, is really struggling. My big take-home for people is to get out there and irrigate. Get a sprinkler, you know, one of those that goes back and forth, back and forth. Set up a rain gauge to capture that water, because you want about 1 inch per week of either rain or irrigation. And
can you do that in one day, or do you need to spread that out over that week?
I would try to do it, spread it out over 1 day.
Over 1 day,
Again, if you try to put on 1 inch of water right away, most of that, again, is going to go right off the surface. But if you can put on like a 1/4 of an inch, give it a half hour to soak in, put on another 1/4 inch. Yes, I know that's a pain in the neck. But otherwise, you just waste.
But the results that we see are going to make it worth it, right?
Yes, the results. I've been looking at a lot of stuff. People have been planting. They planted a lot of stuff this spring. And a lot of it is struggling because...
And that's so sad.
Well, it was raining in the spring. We had all this abundance of rain in the spring, and then it shut off for about 3.5 months. So a lot of these plants are struggling. Our lawns are struggling. You know, people want to put grass seed out, but if you can't water it,
then it's not worth it.
I have a hard time justifying it if you can't get any rain.
Anything that we should be planting here now that we're into the fall, this time, what's good to be planting right now?
Well, if you can irrigate, now is the perfect time to be planting trees, shrubs, and perennials.
So this is the time, but you have to put the work in after that, I think is what you're telling us.
I mean, the ground is warm, but the air temperature is cool, so there's very low stress on these plants, as long as you're watering. Now, with newly planted trees and shrubs, you can get away with like a 5-gallon bucket of water once a week. That's great. And starting next year, we'll need to start watering further out as the roots start growing.
Kind of that week-long thing that you were telling us, they need 1 inch a week.
Right. I mean, you know, a lot of people want fancy sprays and fancy injections, but it's not. And it's but water is what you need.
Water is what you need. If we have any other questions for you, Larry, how can people ask?
People can call me at 812-449-7067, or they can text me. My email is larry@caplantree.com.
Perfect. Larry, thank you so much for all of your advice that you always bring us. Thanks for coming down here, and now enjoy yourself.
Thank you very much.
And we'll be back live from the Fall Festival right after this.